Is nutritional deficiency causing increase in violent and antisocial behaviors? A new study published in the American Journal of Psychiatry shows that children who experience malnutrition exhibit strikingly increased behavioral disorders and aggressive behavior as they grow older. The study looked at children between the ages of 8 and 17 years and found some rather shocking statistics about their behaviors. Children who suffered certain nutritional deficiencies demonstrated a shocking 41% increase in aggression at age 8. At age 17, they demonstrated a 51% increase in violent and antisocial behaviors. And the only difference is their diet. It's all about the foods they were eating and the nutrients they were missing. What specific nutrients were missing from their diets? 4 primary nutrients were tried in the study: zinc, iron, B vitamins and protein. Malnourished children weren't getting crucial minerals like zinc and iron, and they weren't getting the B vitamins they needed to develop healthy nervous systems. And a healthy nervous system is a prerequisite for mental and emotional health and stability. Now let's talk about these nutrients in a little more detail and explore why these nutritional deficiencies are so widespread. Zinc is perhaps the single most common nutritional deficiency in the American population. Estimates are that more than 80% of the population is deficient in zinc. As a result of that deficiency, people's immune systems are impaired. They're not able to resist infectious diseases such as influenza. They're not able to heal their wounds as quickly, and they're not able to recover from surgical procedures as quickly as they could if they had zinc. It also affects fetal development in pregnant women and impairs neurological function. And yet zinc is cheap. It only costs a few pennies a day to supplement our diets with zinc. In fact, it's one of the least expensive supplements you can get. But in our country, we still have widespread chronic deficiencies. And as we're seeing in studies like this, our zinc deficiency is leading to let's say it bluntly, a criminal. Why do we have so many criminals in this country? Because so many of them are raised with nutritional imbalances which then distort their mental function, their mood, their response to stress, and their ability to be successful in modern society. At least those are major contributing factors. At the same time, we have B vitamin deficiencies, which is interesting because so many of the popular food products sold in grocery stores all over the country and around the world actually deplete the body of B vitamins. The 2 most common ingredients in our foods seem to be white flour and sugar. It's hard to find any product in the grocery store, it seems, that isn't made with flour or some form of added sugars, whether it's sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, or just plain sugar. These 2 ingredients are both highly refined ingredients, and they tend to strip away nutrients from the bodies of people who consume them. For example, when a person eats a donut, that donut contains both white flour and added sugars, which deplete the body of B vitamins, causing deficiencies. And it is these deficiencies that lead to antisocial behavior, aggressive behavior, and ultimately criminal behavior, especially among males. Another dietary factor in these behavioral disorders, it turns out, is a lack of quality protein. People aren't getting high quality protein because they think the only place to get protein is from beef and red meat, when in fact superfoods like spirulina offer much higher quality protein. Soy and rice proteins are also much higher quality proteins. In fact, there are many plant proteins that are actually healthier proteins for human beings, but are not being adequately consumed by the American population. People tend to turn to meat and milk, and those are in my opinion the worst sources of protein if you wish to maintain long-term health. So we have a population that suffers from widespread nutritional deficiencies, that much we know. But what may surprise you is how we actually deal with these deficiencies. Instead of spending a few dollars a month on nutritional supplements that would prevent these chronic diseases and aggressive behaviors, we end up spending hundreds of billions of dollars a year on building new prisons and treating these people with expensive prescriptions and mind-altering drugs. When it comes to children, for example, instead of giving them the food they need to be healthy, which would prevent these diseases and disorders, we dose them on Ritalin, antidepressants and other mind-altering drugs. This is expensive. It also impairs the child's learning capability while at the same time increasing the child's risk of violent behavior and suicide. Here we have a nutrient deficiency, most notably the B vitamins, that is causing children to act aggressively and be diagnosed with ADHD. The solution offered by conventional medicine is to dose them with antidepressant drugs that actually promote more aggressive behavior, as we've seen in recent school killings. What kind of solution is that? It sounds crazy, but it's exactly the solution being implemented every day, right now, all across the country. Perhaps even with your child. But these kids don't need drugs, they need vitamins, nutrition and healthy foods. But even if you went to the grocery store for fruits and vegetables and ate them 3 times a day, you still wouldn't be getting adequate nutrition. To figure this out for yourself, just do the math. Add up the US recommended daily allowance, RDA, numbers on the labels of all the foods you consume, and you'll find out that if you're going to meet the minimum requirements set by the US government for preventing chronic disease, you're going to have to eat, on average, 10,000 calories a day of grocery store foods. That's 500% more food than an individual needs if they're a healthy adult of average weight. It's impossible to eat that much, even if you try hard. Morgan Spurlock, the creator of the Super Size Me documentary, ate nothing but McDonald's food for 30 days. He stuffed himself with McDonald's food 3 times a day and still only managed to eat about 5,000 calories. You would have to double Spurlock's incredible feat to eat 10,000 calories a day, and only then would you be meeting the minimum requirements for nutrition. And yet, those minimum requirements aren't enough to experience optimum health. All they do is prevent the most obvious nutritional deficiency diseases such as beriberi, scurvy or even rickets. If you want to get optimum health, you've got to supplement your diet through nutritional supplements, or by consuming superfoods like chlorella or spirulina, sprouts, berries and products like the Ultimate Meal or Berry Green. This is the only way you can get adequate nutrition. As we're now realizing with this study, a huge segment of our childhood population clearly is not getting this nutrition. As a result, we are raising yet another generation of children with behavioral disorders, aggression and problems with the law. Essentially, we are raising tomorrow's criminals. These are the people that will be put in federal prisons that you and I will have to pay for with our taxpayer dollars. We're going to have to support them, and it costs a lot of money to support prisoners. Not only do they not produce anything, they don't pay taxes or contribute to the revenue needed to support society. They actually suck away revenues from society by costing something like $60,000 per year per prisoner on average. They simply waste away without learning new skills that could help them assimilate back into society someday. Now think about it. We could spend a few dollars a month on our children, and give them nutritional supplements that prevent all of this. The choice is this. Spend a few dollars a month on supplementing our kids' nutrition, or let this become a full-blown problem where we have to build more prisons and spend tens of thousands of dollars every year to support them in our federal prison system. Which choice makes more sense? If you were running the country and had to decide where to spend the money, where would it make more sense? Should you spend a couple of dollars a month on nutritional supplements for children and pregnant women? Or should you spend $60,000 a year on each and every criminal that is created by nutritional deficiencies? So, what's the solution here? It's easy. Nutritional supplements should be made available free of charge to the entire population. The government, the taxpayers, actually, should provide free vitamins, minerals and phytonutrients to the population, especially pregnant women and children, so that we can prevent birth defects and behavioral disorders early on. We would save countless dollars down the road. This is something I've supported for a long time and I will continue to promote. But of course, nothing is free. American taxpayers would be footing the bill, but it is a wise investment. By spending a few dollars on disease prevention today, we are avoiding the long-term expenditure of a lot more money taking care of a society full of criminals. Nutrition is a great investment, and preventing disease has a big payoff for society. I say we pay close attention to these studies and find ways to provide better nutrition to our children, our expectant mothers and our general population so that we can prevent these diseases before they become problems for society.